The Galactic Council's Grand Hall was filled with tension. The chamber, built from crystal and starlight, floated above the gas clouds of planet Rovar. Delegates from 53 star systems gathered inside, whispering in fear. Something strange was happening near the edge of the galaxy, near a small blue planet called Earth. For nearly 200 years, fleets sent close to that region had vanished. Entire battle groups, science expeditions, even merchant convoys had gone without a trace. No distress calls, no wreckage, no signals, only silence. At first, the Council blamed pirates or natural anomalies. But now, with the disappearance of the Valorian 7th Fleet, the galaxy could no longer ignore the truth. 10 powerful cruisers had entered the Sol system. None returned. Another fleet lost, said High Speaker Virex, his long silver limbs trembling. 10 warships armed with the finest Valorian technology. And yet gone. How can a single unadvanced planet cause this? The delegates murmured in confusion. One alien raised her clawed hand. Perhaps they entered a black hole, she suggested. Another, a scaled being from the Quran Dominion, hissed softly. Black holes do not form and vanish at random. Something else hides there, something that does not want to be found. A heavy silence fell. Many eyes turned toward the center platform where a tall, calm figure stood, Captain Relek Varn of the Lyran Exploration Corps. His species was known for logic and bravery. Relek had studied the mystery of Earth for years. He believed there had to be a scientific reason. Relek finally spoke, his voice firm and clear. High Speaker, we cannot let fear rule us. The disappearances are strange, yes, but there must be an explanation. Energy storms, quantum distortions, gravitational traps, and something natural. Natural? Vurex repeated with disbelief. Dozens of ships across centuries, all gone near the same world. And you call it natural? Relek met his gaze calmly. Then let me find the truth. The hall fell quiet again. The other delegates exchanged uneasy looks. No one had dared travel to that sector in decades. The Sol system was marked as off-limits. Even the automated probes sent there had failed to return data. You would go to Earth? Someone asked. You would risk your ship and crew? Relek nodded. Yes, I do not believe in ghosts or curses. Whatever is hiding there, I will uncover it. And I will return with answers. Some murmured that he was brave. Others whispered that he was a fool. But the High Speaker, after a long pause, agreed. Very well, Captain Varn. The Council grants you authority to investigate. But remember, as no one has come back from that place. I will, Relek said simply. A few weeks later, the Lyran scout vessel Nero's Dawn departed from the edge of known space. Its sleek silver hull shimmered against the dark stars. Inside, the crew moved quietly, each one aware of their mission's danger. As the ship approached the Sol boundary, the sensors began to act strangely. Magnetic readings flickered. Long-range scanners lost focus. It was as if something invisible bent the laws of physics around them. Relek stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the central display. Report, he ordered. The sensor officer, a young technician named Pilar, looked nervous. Sir, the readings are unstable. I can't get a clear image. It's like... The system doesn't want to be seen. The system? Relek frowned. Planets don't hide, Pilar. I know, Captain. But the signal echoes. They bounce back wrong. It's as if there's another layer, something between us and them. Relek studied the display. There it was, a faint blue world spinning quietly around a yellow star. From a distance it looked harmless, almost peaceful. Oceans shimmered, clouds drifted, continents glowed faintly in daylight. This is Earth, Relek said softly. The crew fell silent. They had all heard the stories, ancient fearful tales of ships vanishing without a trace near this small planet. But to their eyes it seemed ordinary. Relek turned to his navigator. Set a slow approach. 1% light speed. Maintain all sensor arrays active. The ship glided forward, but with each passing minute the equipment grew more erratic. Communications began to flicker. The navigation system showed brief flashes of impossible coordinates, locations that didn't exist. Captain, said the communications officer, I'm picking up something. A signal, Relek straightened. From Earth? I don't know. It's faint, almost buried in background noise. Put it through, static filled the room. Then for a moment a sound came through, a rhythmic pattern repeating every few seconds. It wasn't random, it was intentional. Translate it, Relek ordered. The machine worked, decoding the signal. Then the words appeared on screen. Restricted zone, identify yourself. The crew froze. No one spoke. Every alien on the bridge stared at the message. Relic felt a chill run down his spine. That's an old human dialect, he said slowly. How is it still active? There should be no transmissions from Earth. The navigator swallowed.
Sir, should we reply?
Relic hesitated. Not yet. Let's confirm. Before he could finish, the ship's lights flickered. The engines hummed low, then stopped. Every system shut down in perfect unison. The crew gasped as the bridge went dark. Power loss, Pilar shouted. All systems offline. Relic grabbed the emergency rail. Backup reactors, activate now. No response. Only silence. Then outside the viewing window, a shadow moved. At first it looked like a reflection, a trick of light. But then it grew larger. A dark shape emerged from the void, smooth and massive. It had no visible engines or markings, yet it moved with precision. Another ship, whispered someone. But I don't recognize the design. The shape glided past them, blocking the view of the planet. It was longer than the Nero's Dawn, maybe several kilometers in length. It turned slowly and faint blue lights shimmered along its edges. Every alien aboard felt the same thing at once. They were being watched. The signal returned. Clearer this time. The words echoed through the ship's speakers in perfect translation. Unidentified vessel. You have entered restricted Earth space. State your purpose. Relic took a deep breath. This is Captain Relic Varn of the Lyran Exploration Corps. We mean no harm. We are investigating the disappearances of multiple fleets near your world. There was silence. For several seconds, no response came. The crew held their breath. Then the voice returned. Calm, emotionless, yet strangely human. Understood. Hold position. You will be escorted. Escorted? Relic repeated. Outside, more shapes appeared. Sleek, silent ships materialized one by one around them, forming a circle. The alien crew had never seen such technology. These human vessels didn't emit any heat signatures. Their movement was completely silent. Even their hulls seemed to blend with the void. Cloaking ships, whispered Pilar. But that's impossible at this scale. Relic's eyes widened slightly. Not impossible, apparently. The Nero's Dawn began to move, not by its own power, but pulled gently by some invisible force. Earth grew larger in the viewing window. The clouds swirled like white paint on blue glass. Somewhere below, hidden behind that calm sky, were answers the galaxy had sought for centuries. Relic felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. Prepare all recording systems, he said. Whatever happens next, the Council must know. But deep inside, he wasn't sure anyone would believe him. As the alien ship descended into the orbit of Earth, the human escort ships vanished again, simply disappeared as if they were never there. The planet rotated quietly, showing continents filled with light and color. Yet behind its peaceful face, something powerful waited. Relic stood near the window, watching. They said this planet was primitive, he whispered. But I don't think they know the truth. No one replied. The crew stared in silence at the mysterious blue world below. At that moment, a faint transmission appeared again, only a few words, but enough to freeze every heart on the ship. Welcome to Earth. Captain Relic Varn, we've been expecting you. The Nero's Dawn floated silently above Earth. The vast blue planet spun slowly beneath them, its oceans glinting in sunlight. But despite its calm appearance, something was very wrong. The sensors on the Lyran ship continued to behave unpredictably. Readings flickered, energy flows warped, and strange shadows passed across the displays. Every crew member could feel it. This place was not ordinary. Captain Relic Varn stood at the main observation window, his arms crossed. He had seen many strange phenomena in his life. Magnetic storms, quantum anomalies, even rare cosmic rifts. But nothing prepared him for this. The signals from Earth were too precise, too intelligent. Someone or something was observing them closely. Captain, said Pilar, the sensor officer, his voice tight with nervousness. I'm receiving multiple energy signatures, small, fast-moving. They appear and vanish instantly. I can't get a clear lock, Relic frowned. Describe them. They resemble ships, sir. Tiny compared to ours. But their energy signature is unlike anything I have ever recorded. And they move in patterns, almost like they are testing us, Relic nodded slowly. Keep scanning. Record everything. Nothing is to be ignored. The bridge was tense. The crew exchanged worried glances. Outside the viewing window, clouds swirled over the continents. From above, Earth appeared peaceful, a planet that could almost be mistaken for abandoned, quiet, and harmless. But the data told a different story. Then the ghostly images appeared. On every screen, for a fraction of a second, outlines of ships flickered. Sometimes they looked like ancient war vessels. Other times they appeared as sleek modern fighters, glowing faintly before vanishing again. The crew blinked, unsure if it was a malfunction or reality. "Captain," said Lieutenant Kira, the communications officer, "I'm picking up voices on our long-range channels. They are distorted, fragmented. I can't identify the language." Ralek leaned forward. "Play them." Static filled the bridge, followed by faint murmurs. Voices repeated in a strange rhythm, sometimes overlapping. Then one clear phrase broke through, almost human in tone. "Turn back. You do not belong here." The words made every crew member uneasy. They were being warned or tested. Ralek felt a shiver run down his spine. He had faced danger in battle, explored volatile nebulae, and survived hostile encounters with unknown species. But this was something else. A silent intelligence, unseen yet aware, observing every move. "Prepare visual scans," Ralek ordered. "I want every anomaly recorded." As the crew activated the scanners, the ghosts in orbit became more visible. Faint, shimmering outlines of ships appeared, twisting and vanishing faster than the eye could track. Each flicker was accompanied by a soft pulse of energy. The phenomenon seemed to react to the Nero's Dawn's movements. Palar pointed at a display. "Look, they are forming patterns, some circles, lines, grids. They are coordinating." "Coordinating?" Kira repeated, awe in her voice. "But how? They vanish before we can see them fully." Ralek tapped his chin thoughtfully. "Whatever this is, it's not random. Someone or something is deliberately hiding from us, while simultaneously observing us." The bridge fell silent. Outside, the peaceful rotation of Earth betrayed nothing of the activity above it. The crew realized they were not merely intruders. They were visitors in a controlled space, a place carefully watched by unknown guardians. Suddenly, a bright flash appeared outside the window. The ship trembled slightly, though the hull remained intact. The ghost images coalesced into a single massive shape. Enormous, sleek, and perfectly symmetrical. Unlike any known alien ship, it hovered with silent authority. "The sensors could barely track it. Is it one of the ghost ships?" Palar asked, voice trembling. Ralek shook his head. "No, it's something larger. A vessel, or a structure. It's waiting for us." Before anyone could respond, the Nero's Dawn received a direct signal. The words appeared not on the communication console, but directly in their minds. Every crew member understood the message at the same moment, as if the planet itself had spoken. "Identify yourselves. State your purpose." The bridge fell silent. The crew exchanged shocked glances. None of them had ever experienced telepathic communication. Even among species with mental abilities, nothing worked like this. The message was clear, calm, and perfectly authoritative. Ralek stepped forward. "This is Captain Ralek Varn of the Lyran Exploration Corps. We seek to understand why fleets vanish near your world. We mean no harm." There was a pause. Then the message returned. "You will follow instructions. Deviation is not allowed. Remain where you are." The ghostly shapes outside shifted again. The massive form moved alongside the Nero's Dawn. Small, sleek ships appeared in formation, surrounding the Lyran vessel like invisible hands guiding it. The Nero's Dawn moved not under its own power, but by some unseen force pulled gently toward Earth's orbit. The crew watched in awe. This was no ordinary defense system. It was intelligent, precise, and impossibly advanced. Ralek felt a mixture of fear and admiration. Whoever controlled this planet was unlike any species he had encountered. Palar whispered, "Captain, I think they can see everything. Even our thoughts." Ralek nodded grimly. "It seems that way. Stay calm, do not panic. Record everything. This is history in the making." Hours passed as the Nero's Dawn was guided through Earth's orbital perimeter. The ghostly vessels appeared and disappeared, forming patterns, observing, testing the crew's reactions. Every measurement, every sensor reading was logged. The crew could feel the intelligence assessing them, measuring their intent. Then another message came, this time audible in the ship's speakers, clear and human. "You are being observed. Any hostile action will end immediately. Cooperate and no harm will come to you." The voice was calm, polite, and confident, yet beneath it there was undeniable authority. It carried the weight of someone who had mastered both technology and strategy. The crew was silent. They understood they were not negotiating with mere aliens. This was a civilization capable of controlling entire fleets without revealing itself. Relek exhaled slowly. I want to know everything about them. Prepare all sensors, all recording devices. I want to understand how this planet works, how these fleets vanish. Suddenly, one of the ghost ships flickered into view longer than usual. Relek studied it carefully. Its design was elegant and functional, unlike any known alien technology. The hull shimmered as if it was not entirely solid, bending light around it. This was the kind of engineering that belonged to a species far beyond the galaxy's average. Captain, Kira said softly, if these are the ones responsible for the vanished fleets, we might be very lucky to survive this encounter. Relek's eyes narrowed. Lucky or... They simply haven't decided to erase us yet. Either way, we learn more about them today. As the hours stretched on, the Nero's dawn was guided closer to Earth. The ghostly ships became more structured. They no longer flickered randomly, but formed clear orbital paths, invisible barriers, and protective grids. It was like approaching a massive fortress hidden in plain sight. Then Relek noticed something even stranger. Across the planet, sensors picked up subtle energy pulses, faint signals pulsing from every major city, every continent, every ocean. Earth itself seemed alive, a network of power and intelligence running deep below the surface. Captain, Pilar said, pointing at the display. It's like the entire planet is a command center. Every pulse is synchronized. Relek stared at the readings, awe creeping into his mind. He had heard rumors of ancient human technology lost to time, but this was beyond imagination. Earth was not just defended. It was alive with silent, precise control. The voice returned once more, echoing across the bridge. Remain calm. You will be escorted to a safe observation point. There you may ask questions. Cooperation is appreciated. Relek nodded. Understood. Everyone stay alert. We are about to meet the Guardians of Earth. As the Nero's dawn moved into position, the ghost ships faded, leaving only the massive form that had first appeared. It hovered silently, a sentinel. For the first time, the alien crew could see a faint outline of a docking area, massive enough to hold their ship alongside other vessels. Yet the technology was hidden, almost invisible to ordinary sensors. Relek felt a thrill run through him. This was the moment the galaxy had waited centuries for. A first true glimpse of Earth's secret defenses. The same defenses that had caused countless fleets to vanish, leaving fear and mystery in their wake. The Nero's dawn approached the docking area slowly. Nothing moved the way the aliens expected. There were no conventional engines, no docking clamps, no visible ports. Yet somehow the ship was perfectly guided into position. Relek exhaled slowly. Prepare for first contact, he said. The truth about Earth is about to be revealed. Outside the window, the planet continued to spin peacefully, clouds drifting lazily over oceans and continents. Yet beneath the surface, a silent intelligence waited, ready to reveal itself, or remain hidden depending on the intentions of the visitors. The Nero's dawn drifted silently in orbit, perfectly aligned with the strange docking area that had appeared from nowhere. Outside, the ghost ships had vanished, leaving only the massive sentinel hovering in place. Captain Relek Varn and his crew felt the weight of the moment. They were about to meet the civilization that had caused countless fleets to vanish near Earth. A faint hum vibrated through the ship. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but every system on board seemed to respond. Lights brightened slightly, screens shimmered, and the Nero's dawn's engines hummed as if waking from sleep. It was clear that something, or someone, was in control of this orbital area. Then a signal appeared on the main display. This time there was no delay, no cryptic language. The message was clear and direct. Prepare for boarding. Remain calm. You are expected. Relek exchanged a look with Lieutenant Kira. She swallowed nervously. They want us to be calm, she said quietly. After everything that has happened, they actually expect cooperation? Relek nodded. That is how advanced species operate, Lieutenant. They do not rely on fear. They rely on control. He turned toward the crew. All right. Record everything. Keep your minds sharp. And remember, no sudden moves. We do not know what they are capable of. With a gentle vibration, the Nero's dawn moved toward a narrow docking corridor that had appeared around the massive sentinel. There were no mechanical arms, no clamps, nothing that resembled traditional docking mechanisms. Yet the ship slipped into place perfectly, guided by some invisible force. It was as if the docking area itself knew the ship's shape and intentions. As the final alignment completed, a hatch materialized before the Nero's dawn. It shimmered, glowing faintly with blue energy. Relic took a deep breath and activated the ship's external communicator. "This is Captain Relic Varn of the Lyran Exploration Corps. We are ready for boarding," he said clearly. The hatch opened slowly, revealing a platform extending outward from the Sentinel. Stepping onto it was unlike walking on any normal surface. The energy beneath their feet hummed with life, giving the impression of a floor that was both solid and fluid. A faint blue light illuminated the corridor ahead, guiding the crew. At the end of the corridor stood a single figure. Relic's eyes widened. She was human. At first glance, she looked ordinary. Average height, athletic build, wearing a crisp uniform of muted gray and blue. Yet there was something extraordinary about her presence. Every movement was deliberate, every glance calculated. She exuded confidence, calm, and authority simultaneously. "Welcome, Captain Varn," she said, her voice clear and steady. "I am Commander Elise Cade of the United Earth Defense Force. Please follow me." Relic's mouth opened slightly, but no words came. The crew followed silently, impressed and cautious. The human walked without hesitation, leading them through corridors that shimmered with energy fields. There were no doors, no visible panels, yet everything seemed functional. Lights, displays, even air systems. It was as if the building itself responded to her presence. Finally, they entered a large chamber. The ceiling extended high above, and the walls glowed faintly with intricate patterns of moving light. Holographic displays hovered in midair, showing star systems, fleet movements, and planetary data. The room was enormous, yet perfectly organized, with every element serving a clear purpose. Commander Cade turned to Relic. "You have questions. I will answer them. But first, you must understand that Earth has always been cautious. Your fleets have vanished because they entered our protective zone without permission. We do not seek war, but we cannot allow intrusions." Relic swallowed, trying to steady his voice. "Protective zone? Why such secrecy? Why vanish entire fleets?" Cade's expression was calm, almost clinical. "Because the galaxy is not as orderly as it seems. Many species are unpredictable. Earth has faced threats before, threats that no one else could stop. We have developed systems that prevent aggression from reaching our planet. The fleets you mentioned were warned. Those that ignored the warnings were neutralized before they could harm anyone." The crew exchanged astonished glances. Relic felt a thrill run through him. The stories were true. Humans were not primitive nor extinct. They had been watching, protecting, and waiting. "How? What kind of technology allows you to control fleets without appearing?" Relic asked. Cade smiled faintly. "Advanced science, strategy, and patience. We have perfected systems that interact with space-time, energy, and matter. Most species cannot detect us because they rely on predictable instruments. We do not." Relic's mind raced. "So the disappearances? They were not accidents. They were intentional." "Yes," Cade said simply, "but never for conquest. Only for defense." The crew followed Cade deeper into the chamber. Holographic star maps highlighted countless fleets, many belonging to alien civilizations. Cade gestured toward them. "We monitor all nearby fleets. We know of incursions, potential conflicts, and disturbances. We do not act unless a threat crosses our boundaries." Relic nodded slowly. "And these ghost ships we saw in orbit? The ones that moved invisibly?" "They are drones, sensors, and patrols," Cade explained. "Designed to appear and disappear, confusing any intruder while keeping our perimeter secure. You saw them because you were allowed to see some. Not every visitor receives this." The aliens were silent, absorbing the magnitude of what they were being told. The humans had built a hidden empire right under the galaxy's nose. It was quiet, disciplined, and untouchable. Relic finally asked, "Why reveal any of this to me?" Cade's gaze met his. "Because you are not here to attack. Your curiosity is genuine. You will leave Earth, but you will carry knowledge of what exists here. Understand this. Humanity does not seek war, but we will protect our home. Always." As the conversation continued, Relic noticed that the chamber seemed to respond to thought. Holographic displays adjusted themselves automatically, projecting information relevant to their discussion. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, yet powerful. Earth's technology was integrated with intelligence, observation, and control, all at once. Then Cade led them to another area, a viewing deck. From there, Relic and his crew could see the planet in its entirety. Oceans, continents, clouds, calm and ordinary from above. Yet beneath the surface, faint energy pulses trace the outlines of vast underground cities, massive power grids, and hidden orbital systems. "It is all connected," Cade said. "Surface activity, underground infrastructure, orbital defense systems. Everything functions as a single network. Any intrusion triggers a response before a threat reaches populated areas. That is why fleets disappear. You did not threaten us, so you remain." Relic stared at the glowing energy flows. This is incredible. "Humans are far beyond what anyone imagined," Cade nodded. "We have always preferred to work quietly. Observation, preparation, and patience. You are the first alien visitors to witness this without aggression." Relic felt a mixture of awe and fear. He understood in that moment why the galaxy had lost fleets near Earth for centuries. This civilization was not only advanced, it was intelligent, disciplined, and far beyond the expectations of any other species. Then Cade spoke again. "Captain Varn, you will return to your people. Tell them Earth is not to be underestimated. Tell them that we do not seek conflict, but we will defend ourselves. Tell them that curiosity is tolerated, aggression is not." Relic nodded. "I understand, and will the Council believe me?" Cade's expression softened slightly. "Perhaps not immediately, but some truths must be known slowly. Your role is observation, not revelation. You will see more if necessary, but only under guidance." For the first time, the crew felt a sense of relief. They had survived the approach, the warnings, and the ghost ships. And now they understood. Humanity was watching, ready and powerful, more than they could have imagined. Before leaving, Relic asked one final question. "Commander Cade, will we ever see this level of technology again? Could other civilizations achieve it?" Cade smiled faintly. "Perhaps, but not yet. Not without patience, discipline, and respect for the unknown. That is a lesson your people must learn if they wish to survive in this galaxy." As the Nero's Dawn departed from the docking corridor, Relic glanced back at the planet. It seemed peaceful, ordinary, and yet it held secrets that could change the entire galaxy. He felt a mix of fear, respect, and awe. The truth about Earth had been revealed, but only partially. There was more to learn, more to understand, and perhaps more visitors to guide. The ship moved away from orbit, ghost ships appearing briefly to escort them to a safe departure path. As the planet rotated below, clouds drifting lazily across oceans and continents, Relic whispered quietly to himself, "So this is why the fleets disappeared. Not by chance, not by accident. Humans protect their own, and they have done so for centuries." The crew recorded every detail. The galaxy would not believe them easily, but the truth was undeniable. Humanity was not a simple, primitive species. They were patient, intelligent, and overwhelmingly powerful. Guardians of their world, unseen and underestimated for centuries, and far above. In orbit and underground, Earth continued to watch silently, ready to act if ever needed again. The Nero's Dawn returned to orbit around Earth, moving carefully through the invisible corridors that had guided it before. Captain Relic Varn felt a mixture of anticipation and unease. The first meeting with Commander Elise Cade had already revealed more than he had ever imagined about humanity. Now it was time to see the real scale of their power, the hidden arsenal that had caused entire fleets to vanish. The human escort ships appeared again, sleek and silent, surrounding the alien vessel as if guiding it to an observation platform. The Nero's Dawn followed the invisible paths precisely, sensing the quiet authority of the humans controlling everything. Every crew member was alert. Nothing about this world was ordinary. Commander Cade appeared once more, standing on the docking platform waiting for them. She did not smile. Her calm presence, however, conveyed assurance and discipline. "Captain Varn, you will now witness the scope of Earth's defenses," she said. "We will show you why your fleets never returned." Relic nodded and followed her aboard the platform. It shimmered under their feet with the same quiet energy as before, guiding their steps. Beyond the docking area, the view opened to reveal something breathtaking. A vast array of satellites, orbital weapons platforms, and massive ships moving in perfect coordination. Some ships were so large they could dwarf the Nero's Dawn 10 times over, yet they were cloaked, invisible to normal sensors. "It is incredible," Pellar whispered. How many ships are there? Cade glanced at him, expression neutral. Hundreds in orbit, thousands more hidden underground or in deep space. Everything is automated and integrated. We monitor threats in real time and respond instantly. The galaxy has underestimated us for centuries. Relek could hardly believe what he saw. All these fleets. They were always here? He gestured at the seemingly empty space. And the Council never knew? They never looked close enough, Cade said. Humans prefer discretion. Observation first, action only when necessary. You saw what happens when a fleet enters our zone without authorization. It is not about destruction for the sake of power. It is about defense, security, survival. Kira's eyes widened as she scanned the orbital display. These weapons, they are beyond anything I've ever imagined. Energy-based, automated, some moving faster than light. Cade nodded. All designed to neutralize threats instantly. If a fleet violates our airspace or orbital boundaries, our systems can displace it entirely from its location. No one is harmed unnecessarily, but aggression is stopped before it can reach the planet. Relek swallowed. You mean the fleets that disappeared were not destroyed in battle? Correct, Cade replied calmly. They were removed from their position, erased from the immediate area by our systems. No wreckage, no survivors, nothing for others to find. It is precise, controlled, and invisible to ordinary detection. The crew felt a mix of relief and awe. The rumors of vanished fleets were true, but the method was not violence, so it was protection. And the humans had done this silently, unseen for centuries. Cade led the Neros Dawn to another platform, lower this time, which opened to reveal a vast underground chamber. The room extended farther than the eye could see, filled with advanced machinery, holographic displays, and soldiers moving with precise discipline. It was the nerve center of Earth's defenses, and it pulsed with energy as if the planet itself was alive. Here, Cade said, gesturing to the displays, is where decisions are made. Sensors on the surface, in orbit, and across the planet feed into this system. Automated defenses, monitoring fleets, weather control, and energy regulation, all coordinated seamlessly. Relek walked slowly through the chamber, absorbing every detail. It's like the entire planet is a single organism. Everything works together, Cade nodded. Exactly. Every human contributes to the network, from scientists to soldiers. Even the technology is self-learning. It observes, adapts, and improves without human input. We call it the integrated defense grid. Paler's hands shook slightly as he manipulated a console. Captain, look at this. Even their orbital patrols are invisible to us until they choose to reveal themselves. And their energy shields. They bend light around them perfectly. Relek leaned closer. It is no wonder fleets vanished. They never stood a chance. Which is why we do not need war, Cade said. We do not conquer. We do not expand aggressively. But if aggression comes to Earth, it does not matter how large or powerful the attacker is. We neutralize it instantly. The crew felt a weight settle on them. Humanity's power was not just technological. It was strategic, patient, and absolute. They were witnessing a species that had evolved beyond reliance on brute force, mastering subtlety, intelligence, and precision instead. Cade led them further into the chamber, where simulations of past incidents played on massive holographic displays. Entire fleets approached Earth, unaware of the defenses that awaited them. Then in an instant they were removed, the screens showing only calm, empty space where the vessels had been. It was meticulous, deliberate, and shockingly effective. This, Cade said, gesturing to the simulations, is what the galaxy calls mystery, what the Council calls vanished fleets, what you call impossible. For us it is routine. Relek's eyes met hers. You've kept this secret for centuries? Cade nodded. We have always acted only when necessary. Knowledge can be dangerous if misused. Most species cannot handle the responsibility of understanding our capabilities. Curiosity alone does not grant access. Relek felt the enormity of what he was seeing. For centuries, humans had watched the galaxy quietly, remaining hidden while others assumed they were weak. Entire fleets had vanished, not because humans sought war, but because they were cautious, disciplined, and prepared. Every fleet that disappeared had received a warning. Those that ignored it simply ceased to interfere. The Lyran crew absorbed this silently. They were not just visitors. They were witnesses to a civilization that had quietly mastered the galaxy's most advanced technologies without attracting attention. Finally, Cade led them to a final chamber, where a massive viewing window showed the planet from orbit. From above, Earth looked calm and ordinary. Clouds drifted lazily, oceans shimmered, and cities gleamed faintly. Yet beneath that calm surface lay a world armed beyond imagination, a silent guardian of itself and its people. Relic whispered to himself, "This is beyond anything I imagined. Entire fleets vanished because they entered this, and no one knew." Cade spoke, her voice calm but firm. "You now understand why your fleets disappeared. Not through accident, not through weakness, not through misfortune. They were stopped because Earth cannot be taken lightly. Curiosity is permitted. Aggression is not." The crew felt a mix of awe and humility. They had come seeking answers, and the truth was far more profound than any story, legend, or rumor could have conveyed. Earth had never been vulnerable. It had never been weak. It had simply been hidden, silent, patient, and immensely powerful. Relic turned to Cade. "I will return to my people. But what should I tell them? How do I explain this?" Cade's expression softened slightly. "Tell them only what is necessary. Tell them Earth is not to be underestimated. Tell them that aggression will be met with precision. Curiosity is tolerated. Threats are neutralized." Relic nodded, understanding. The galaxy would not believe the scale of what he had seen. Perhaps it was better that way. Some truths needed to remain partially hidden, until the right moment. As the Nero's Dawn prepared to depart, Cade gave one final instruction. "Do not reveal the locations of our systems. Share only what is required. Your survival is dependent on discretion." Relic and his crew stepped back into the ship, still absorbing the enormity of what they had witnessed. The humans had shown them the power that had remained hidden for centuries. Silent, invisible, precise, and beyond imagination. Every fleet that vanished had been a demonstration of Earth's capability and restraint. As the Nero's Dawn left orbit, the ghost ships reappeared briefly, escorting the vessel along a safe path before vanishing again. Below, Earth rotated peacefully, clouds drifting over continents, oceans sparkling in the light of its sun. To the galaxy it appeared calm and ordinary. To those who had seen the truth, it was a fortress, a guardian, and a warning. Relic stood at the observation window, watching the planet shrink into the distance. This is humanity," he said quietly. "Not weak, not primitive, not to be underestimated. Patient, intelligent, and always prepared." The crew nodded silently. Every one of them had seen the scale of human power. Every one of them understood why the fleets had vanished. The planet that seemed small and ordinary from afar was, in fact, a silent empire of defense and intelligence, a mystery the galaxy would never fully comprehend. And far below, beneath oceans, cities, and mountains, Earth continued to monitor the stars. Its silent arsenal waited, patient and vigilant, ready to protect its people from anyone who dared threaten them again. Weeks passed since Captain Relic Varn and the Nero's Dawn had first encountered Commander Elise Cade and the hidden defenses of Earth. The Lyran crew had returned to their base at the edge of the galaxy, carrying reports that would astonish the Galactic Council. Every word was carefully chosen. The humans of Earth were not only advanced, they were disciplined, intelligent, and capable of protecting their world without revealing themselves. The Council convened in an emergency session. High Speaker Vurex rose, his silver limbs trembling with a mix of fear and anger. 10 fleets lost. Entire fleets vanished near Earth, and now we hear. Humans have been hiding all this power? How is it possible? Captain Relic Varn stood tall, his expression calm but serious. It is true. Earth is unlike any planet in the galaxy. Its defenses are invisible, precise, and controlled by humans who have perfected both technology and strategy. Fleets vanish not by accident, but because the humans do not allow intrusion. Murmurs filled the chamber. Delegates whispered among themselves, some fearful, some curious. No one had expected this. Earth, a seemingly small and quiet planet, was now revealed to be a hidden fortress. "Captain Varn," said a Kuran delegate, scales glinting under the hall lights. "You claim they neutralize entire fleets without destruction?" "Yes," Relic replied. "They have systems that remove fleets from the area without harming anyone unnecessarily. Aggression is stopped before it reaches the planet. Their technology and strategy are beyond comprehension." Vurex slammed his staff on the floor. "If this is true, we are blind to a species capable of controlling space-time, energy, and matter." "We have been arrogant for centuries," Relic nodded. "Exactly. That is why we must respect their boundaries. Curiosity is tolerated, aggression is not. The Council debated for hours trying to understand the implications. Some feared humans, some wanted to ally with them, and others simply wanted to avoid Earth entirely. Relic's words made it clear. Humanity was not to be underestimated. Meanwhile, back near Earth, Commander Cade prepared for a demonstration of power. The humans had already observed countless fleets. Now it was time to show the galaxy what they could truly do. For centuries, they had remained hidden, patient, and cautious. But a potential threat from the Galactic Council demanded a clear message. Earth would not be touched without consent. In orbit, hundreds of ships that had remained invisible for decades began to appear simultaneously. The massive sentinel that had first greeted Relic now stood fully revealed, glowing faintly, its surface shimmering with energy. Automated patrols, energy shields, and drones moved in perfect synchronization. The entire orbital defense network of Earth was active. Below on the planet, humans monitored every movement. Deep underground, hidden command centers coordinated satellites, fleets, and energy weapons with flawless precision. From orbit to surface, the planet functioned as a single, interconnected organism, ready to respond instantly to any threat. Commander Cade activated a communication channel, broadcasting to the approaching Galactic Council fleet. The message was calm, precise, and undeniable. Council of the Galaxy, you approach a planet protected by systems beyond your understanding. Aggression will not be tolerated. Withdraw or face immediate neutralization. The Council's fleet, consisting of massive cruisers, frigates, and dozens of smaller vessels, hesitated. None had expected this level of organization or power. Sensors that had been reliable for centuries suddenly failed to read energy levels accurately. Communications became distorted. Every ship was surrounded by faint, flickering energy fields that disrupted conventional navigation. High Speaker Vurex's voice trembled as he addressed the fleet. Do you see it? They are not primitive. They are not unarmed. Retreat is prudent. But some council members, filled with pride and curiosity, were unwilling to back down. They believed their fleets could challenge Earth, and so they moved forward. At that moment, Earth's silent arsenal activated fully. Ships that had been invisible appeared in formation, surrounding the Council fleet. Energy shields bent light, making some vessels appear twice as large. Automated drones moved with astonishing speed, positioning themselves between any potential threat and the planet. From deep underground, energy pulses aligned perfectly with orbital weapons, creating a layered, almost impenetrable defense grid. The Council's ships fired first, expecting conventional battle. Their energy beams struck invisible shields, dispersing harmlessly into the void. Other vessels attempting to advance were gently displaced by invisible forces, moved out of position without any visible attack. It was precise, controlled, and silent. Relic Varn watched from a safe distance aboard the Nero's Dawn, recording every moment. The humans of Earth were not aggressive, but they were unyielding. Every action was calculated. Every potential threat neutralized instantly, without unnecessary destruction. One Council vessel tried to fire upon a human ship again. The projectile vanished mid-flight, redirected safely into deep space. Another attempted evasive maneuvers, only to find invisible currents pushing it back toward the formation, guiding it precisely where Earth wanted it to be. The Council fleet had never encountered anything like this. Panic spread among the alien crews. What they had assumed were primitive humans were now revealed as masters of strategy and technology. High Speaker Vurex could only watch in disbelief as his fleet was guided into safe positions, disarmed without a single casualty. Commander Cade's voice echoed across the communication channels. Calm and unyielding. Council fleets, this is your only warning. Withdraw immediately or face complete neutralization. Earth does not seek conflict, but we will defend ourselves. Silence fell. No one dared respond. Even the bravest Council captains understood the futility of resistance. Every system aboard their ships was disrupted. Every weapon neutralized, every move anticipated. Humanity had revealed its full capability without a single act of destruction. Captain Relic Varn recorded the final moments carefully. The Council fleet, realizing the futility of their advance, began to retreat. Energy pulses guided them safely out of Earth's orbital perimeter, invisible barriers preventing any aggressive maneuvers. As the alien ships moved away, the humans' protective systems relaxed, and the ghostly cloaked ships disappeared once more. Relek felt a mix of relief and awe. The humans had demonstrated power without unnecessary violence. They had defended their planet, warned the galaxy, and remained disciplined throughout. It was a display of strategy, intelligence, and patience beyond comprehension. Commander Cade appeared again on the Nero's Dawn's communication console. "Captain Varn, you have witnessed the extent of Earth's capabilities. You now understand why fleets have vanished. You have also seen that humanity does not seek war, but we will defend our home with absolute precision." Relek nodded. "I understand. The Council must know the truth, but they may not fully believe it. They will," Cade said calmly. "Eventually they will understand. Some truths are too important to remain hidden forever." Relek recorded her words carefully. He knew that when he returned to the Council, every report, every sensor reading, every recording would challenge centuries of assumptions. Humanity had remained hidden, underestimated, and observed. Now it had shown the galaxy why it must be respected. As the Nero's Dawn departed from Earth's orbit, the planet rotated peacefully beneath them. Oceans shimmered, cities gleamed faintly, and clouds drifted lazily across continents. To the galaxy it appeared calm and ordinary, but the Lyran crew now knew the truth. Earth was not just a planet. It was a fortress, a sentinel, a hidden empire. Relek looked at his crew. The galaxy will never see Earth the same way again. We have witnessed the impossible. Fleets that disappeared because they were stopped, not destroyed. A planet defended by intelligence, strategy, and patience. And humans. A species underestimated for centuries. Palar shook his head. "It is tumbling. I never imagined a civilization could remain hidden yet so powerful." Kira added quietly. "And we were allowed to see it, because we were not a threat." Relek nodded. "Exactly. That is the lesson. Strength does not always announce itself. Sometimes the greatest power is patience, intelligence, and restraint." The Nero's Dawn moved further from the planet, leaving Earth behind. But the image of the planet, calm and peaceful yet silently prepared, remained with every crew member. They had seen history, witnessed the impossible, and understood why the fleets had vanished for centuries. Above, Earth continued to watch silently. Its sensors scanned the stars, its ships remained ready, and its automated systems hummed with quiet power. It was a planet that had mastered discretion, intelligence, and defense, an empire invisible to the galaxy, yet unyielding. Captain Relek Varn recorded the final message to the Galactic Council. "Earth is not primitive. Earth is not weak. It is patient, intelligent, and fully capable of defending itself. Any aggression will fail. Curiosity may be permitted. Hostility will not. This is the truth of the planet you have long ignored." And far below, the humans of Earth continued their watch, knowing that the galaxy had finally glimpsed the full extent of their power and would never underestimate them again.